All right, so let's look at the open pressure transfer. That means that this is not a closed loop. There is oxygen being introduced at some point in this process here. Just like other things, you're going to want to remove the hose from your sanitizer jar because you don't want, that'll just get sucked right up and sprayed right on top of your beer, and you definitely don't want that. So in this case of this beer here, I am adding some fruit and some lactose. This is going to be a milkshake IPA, which fast forward a couple weeks was a terrible beer because I dry hopped too early, but whatever. So I'm chucking my fruit in here. That's the purpose of this is I'm going to rack 5 gallons of my 10-gallon batch into another fermenter, into secondary, because I want to do something different with 5 gallons of it. So adding my fruit. I think that was blackberries and blueberries. And then I also have some lactose. This was my first time using lactose. Man, if anybody has any pointers on using that stuff, it'd be nice if you would let me know. But then I'm dumping that in there too. It's hot, it's steamy. It's probably not the best practice for doing something like this, but this is me. So I got my mixture in there. I'm ready to rack on top of it. So I got my blow-off valve, and I'm going to want to get that out of there. This is a pressure transfer, remember? So we are going to be using CO2 to push beer out of the conical into the secondary. So we're hooking up our Spike Brewing gas post there with the 15 psi blow-off. I'm going to hook up my auxiliary line of CO2 and just put a couple pounds of pressure in there. You really don't need more than 2 to 3 pounds in my experience. So we charge that up. I swear the needle's going to move at some point here. Oh, it looks like it's moving. So it looks like we're at like 2 psi there. Okay, I should have used a longer tube here. This is not the most beautiful way of doing this, but there's definitely going to be some oxygen introduced. But yeah, I got my hose. 2 psi is all that I really need. Open the valve. Beer starts squirting into my secondary fermenter there, and then before you know it, I got 5 gallons filled up to the top, and put the airlock on there, and we're all done. All right, so open pressure transfer. I would say that a closed pressure transfer is always better. However, unless you're doing a secondary ferment in a conical or a corny keg or something like that, I don't really know how you would do that, really. I'd have to think about that one. Yeah, so closed pressure transfer is always better. Sometimes you just can't do it. So when you're racking beer into secondary, something like that, an open pressure transfer, or even when you keg, a lot of people open pressure transfer. So yeah, that's just a quick overview of that technique. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching.